Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are taking a look at set number 71769, Cole's Dragon Cruiser. This is another one of the brand new Ninjago Crystalized sets, and I gotta say, as a Cole fan, I was kind of excited for this one. The set contains 384 pieces and retails for about $44.99 USD, otherwise $45 if you want to round up right there. And in terms of an actual set, I have to say, this one doesn't really do it for me. As excited as I may have been for a new Cole vehicle, because Cole is my favorite ninja, unfortunately this set kind of misses the mark in a ton of ways, and it honestly just kind of feels unfinished and kind of like an afterthought of the entire wave. The set itself just has some questionable design choices, I guess we'll leave it at that, and the price for the piece count isn't really all that great either. But of course we will dive on into all of those complaints and even some positives in today's video. The video will not be all bad, so don't worry about that. And just for a very quick disclaimer, I am not a professional LEGO reviewer. I just want to take a look at this set as casually, openly, and honestly as humanly possible. And yeah, this is not trying to be a professional LEGO review, but I do want to give my thoughts on this set, so without further ado, why don't we go ahead and dive on into it. In terms of the packaging, this is what you got going on for the front. Pretty solid crystallized packaging. Nice look at the Dragon Cruiser right there, and there's a reason why they chose that angle specifically. And in terms of the back, you have yourself a closer look at some of the finer details of the set, and overall for the box, it is a box. Let's move on. So guys, starting things off with the first minifigure of the bunch, here we have Golden Cole. This is the main figure that you get in this set, obviously enough, because this is Cole's set, so to speak, and I like how this guy looks overall. Nice color combination of gold, black, gray, and orange. Those colors really shouldn't work together as well as they do, but this guy I actually like quite a bit. This is not the first Golden Cole that we've ever seen before, but I think he looks pretty good all things considered. I like that mask with the black headband and the golden symbol on there, looking really nice, really shiny, really reflective. Also, the armor itself is pretty reflective as well. This, again, is supposed to be Cole's fugitive outfit, just with golden armor over top of it, and I think that looks pretty good for the most part. Season 11 shoulder pad in gold. He houses a golden katana on his back, and overall, not a bad-looking Cole figure. Not my favorite of the Golden Cole figures that we've seen before, but this guy is still pretty decent, all things considered. Really quick, taking a look at his face. No surprise there. Same Cole face that we've been seeing for years now. Same deal with the back. Just normal Cole printing all around, nothing really too new. And in terms of Golden Cole, like I said, he's not the most exciting Cole figure out there, but I still really like this guy. He's not too bad, and he is a fine lead figure for this set. Moving right along, in terms of a lead bad guy, you get General Esfira. That is what she's labeled as officially on the box, and this is the new crystallized version of Esfira, coming back from the Season 11 Fire chapter and the 2019 Ninjago set wave, and for the most part, she looks pretty good. I like her new colors, consisting of purple, gunmetal gray, crystallized pink. I like how she looks overall. That head mold is brought back from 2019 as well, just recolored to fit the modern day aesthetic of Crystalized, and I like how that looks with the transparent pink in there. You can see that sometimes her eyes will glow depending on how light gets caught in there. I like how that looks overall. She also uses the corrupted or crystallized Sword of Fire. Not a huge fan of that Sword of Fire design, to be honest. I still think it looks pretty ugly, nowhere near as great as the original one did, but I don't think it looks too bad in this weird crystallized blade right here. I think this look right here is fine, just the Sword of Fire on its own doesn't really look all that great, but just going ahead and taking that away so we can take a look at the rest of the Esfira minifigure here. Great torso design, same one that's been used on the other Crystal Council members, also same armor piece that's been used before as well. That tail is brand new in that color, I think, unless that's the same one that was used on the Overlord from Legacy. Might be, but it's new for Esfira. Still don't understand why they don't give her a proper snake tail. Instead, she just uses the ghost tail. That's been the case since her debut as well. Not sure why they do that. Still not a huge fan of that design choice, but overall, in terms of the new Esfira, she's not bad, just not my favorite of the Crystal Council members, and I'm honestly not too big of a fan of Esfira either, so this character in this set just kind of meh to me. Just kind of middle of the road. Like a lot of the Ninjago crystallized sets in this wave, you do get one of these Vengestone guys. This guy specifically is known as a Vengestone Brute, and overall, I've already talked about these Vengestone dudes before. Very excellent color scheme, gunmetal gray, pink, yellow, purple. Good stuff all around. I also love their swords. This guy has one of these new crystal blades. Can't really go wrong with those pieces. And overall, the Vengestone Brute here, I feel like he's more or less the same as the other Vengestone warriors. Not really too special because we've already looked at these guys several times now throughout these reviews. So if you wanted some more in-depth thoughts on the Vengestone warriors as a concept, feel free free to check out some of my other reviews. As it stands though, the Vengestone Brute here, not a bad inclusion, not at all. And finally here, last but certainly not least, here we have Golden Dragon Kai. Kai is the Golden Dragon Ninja of choice for this set, and what a beautiful Golden Dragon Ninja this is. I love how these Golden Dragon Ninja look overall. Can't really go wrong with any of these. Of course, with Kai, the blue pins in the back are kind of annoying, but when you look at the entire rest of the figure, you forget about those blue pins pretty quickly. Nice color combination of red, dark red, gold, and some transparent reflective red as well. Those wings are nice and shiny. We've looked at these wings before on some of the other Dragon Ninja, but I like the color combination of gold and red here. Looking pretty nice, all things considered. I will say, in terms of pictures, I didn't think this guy looked all that great, but in person, I really like how Golden Dragon Kai looks. Excellent ninja mask as well, done up in gold and a transparent red to match the rest of the figure. Looking pretty good there. I just like those new molds overall for the dragon hoods. Also, that armor is pretty spectacular as well. Some spikes up here on the wings as well, so you can get some spiky action if you want. The wings can also be posed any which way that you want. You can flap the wings if you want. Just kind of depends on what you like to do, how you like to display these guys. I'm also a big fan of that torso print. Kai's symbol is front and center there, kind of melts down into the legs with a nice fiery design. Transparent red arms, just with dark red hands, which I think was a pretty good choice. I like how they went with the dark red here. Maybe normal red would have been a little bit too bright for this specific figure, but I like the transparency of the entire thing. In terms of the head, same head that was used on Core Kai, so kind of a reused part there, but I think it works for this version of Kai. I think if they were going to use any type of face, it makes sense that they would go with this one rather than making a whole new one, or as I've said in previous videos, maybe these faces were originally designed for the Dragon Ninja, but were just used first in Core. I have no idea what went on behind the scenes, but overall, I like this version of Kai as a Dragon Ninja. Kai is the Golden Dragon Ninja that you get in this set, and I think he looks pretty sweet. And much like the other Golden Dragon minifigures, Golden Dragon Kai here picks up and disperses light really well. Look at how awesome that looks. A nice deep blood red color. I love how the eyes glow as well. Really cool. Can't really deny how awesome that actually looks. So with that being said, let's move on to the actual meat of this set. This is the Golden Dragon Cruiser, or sorry, just the Dragon Cruiser. Kind of a weird name on this guy, first things first. Shouldn't it be the Golden Dragon Cruiser? It kind of lines up with the other sets more if you call it the Golden Dragon Cruiser, but that's not what it's officially called, so I guess just Dragon Cruiser. And overall, I think this thing looks good from certain angles. From the dead front, that looks awesome. Can't really deny how awesome that looks right there. This is supposed to be a four-wheeled kind of ATV for Cole, obviously enough, and I think, like I said, it looks great from some angles, not so great from others. Looks great from the dead front, looks good from like that type of angle, you know, doesn't look too bad there, but from the side, yikes, that does not look good at all, at least in terms of the back. Yeah, just elephant in the room. Just diving on into this right off the bat. What is going on with the back half of the vehicle? Front half, like from there onwards, right? From like this little area right here, looks pretty good, all things considered. But that, I don't know about that, man. Don't know about that back design. I could tell that they tried to cover it up the best that they could, but the reason why the back looks like that and why it's so messy is because of the function. But I hesitate to ask, was the function worth basically sacrificing the look of the vehicle? I think the vehicle had potential to look really awesome, and like I said, from certain angles where the back is kind of covered like that, or from the dead front, yeah, I mean, that looks good. And I want to bring in the box really quick as well, because I kind of love how the box kind of captured the only good angle of the thing. Just taking a look at that really quick, that is genius marketing right there. That is like one of the only good angles of this vehicle. Otherwise, if you turn it literally any other way, you're going to get some ugly gaps, ugly colors going on just because of the way that it's built. And again, that is because of the function. They decided to sacrifice design for function, and I'm not really sure how to feel about that as somebody who doesn't really care too much about Lego functions. Yeah, not really sure how I feel about that decision, but I'm not a Lego designer, so yeah, in terms of the function, let's get to it. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to grab basically these large, admittedly pretty nice looking orange blades. Those actually don't look too bad, kind of like how those look. And you're just going to go ahead and push them forward like that. And there you go. Now you have the battle mode, and look how cool that looks. I mean, admittedly, it does look kind of cool, again, from the front, and literally any other angle that doesn't expose the back. But with this in place now, with this transformation sequence occurring, the back looks significantly worse, and I really don't like how that looks. I thought it looked bad just like this, but, you know, transforming the thing, doing that conversion, oh man, large gap in there, a lot of conflicting colors. You got blues and reds and just not cool colors. Come on, man. Like what's going on with this car? I've said this on Instagram when I actually finished building this thing, but the back of it just kind of looks unfinished. It looks like the designers just kind of gave up halfway, or at least that's how it feels. It feels like they had something really solid, and when you're building it, I kind of compared it to getting a haircut, you know? When you start off building it, you start off with like the front and some of the inside features of the car, and it looks really good, starts to look really awesome, and then you eventually finish and it's like, oh, that's it? Like what's the deal? Like, what's wrong with all that? They could have easily, with the price that this guy is, they could have easily taken some of those extra pieces, some of that extra budget, and fixed this big mess back there. With the function in place, though, I've kind of already complained about my least favorite thing about the set, that of course being the entire back half. There are some other functions here as well. You do have some stud shooters right back here, some little cannons that you can, I'm not going to fire them off, but you can pull those little triggers there and studs will come flying out. Fantastic. These little blades you can turn if you want. If you don't like how they're front facing, you can do that if you want. Honestly though, who really cares? I'm never going to have it displayed like this. My preferred look is like this, even though the back still looks really ugly. At least it's still covered in some way, shape, or form. Moving on from that, the rest of the car admittedly looks pretty sweet. I love how the rest of the car looks. Nice color combination of black, gray, orange, and gold as well. And the front, I think, could have been a little bit more gold instead of orange. Maybe that's why it's not called the Golden Dragon Cruiser. But who cares, honestly? The front looks good. Nice sticker used there. You can also adjust this piece if you want that facing forward for some reason, so it can like run down Vengestone guards and kind of stab them. I guess you can do that if you so desire. Again, once you get this set, it's yours. Do with it whatever you like. It's yours. Display it however you personally prefer. You can also lift up the hood, and there's some storage under there. Yeah, there's a little bit of a hammer under there. Come on. Come on now, you hammer. There we go. Look at that. So it's one of those cars that has the trunk in the front. So there you go. You can tuck whatever you want in there. If you wanted to put like other Lego pieces in there, or maybe even like some pennies or some dimes or whatever, you could probably store those in there all good to go. Close that up and call it good from there. And for extra security, yeah, you can just close up the hood with that little sword there. There's also these golden blades in the front. You can move those a little bit if you want. And I should say the wheels are nice and beefy on this guy. Being some type of earth off-roader, I like how beefy the rubber tires are. And those are rubber tires as usual. Lego tires are most of the time rubber. And the back uses some of these gold pieces. Again, just adding to that gold color scheme. I just wish they had something to cover them on the back wheels though. You know, like that axle sticking out and some of the tan pins there. Don't look the best in my opinion. Maybe they could have covered that up in some way, but I don't know. At this point, I feel like I'm just nitpicking small details about the set that I just don't like. You have some more stickers used on the side of the vehicle. Right there, you have the resistance symbol once again, and you have a similar but not identical sticker on the other side, just kind of adding some more detail. On the top, you have some stickers, and the top doesn't look too bad either. That's another pretty good angle, honestly, from the top. But again, this is a Lego set. This is a three-dimensional object. Once you finally build it, it should look good from every angle, not just certain angles. And once again, I gotta love how the box conveniently has it at the most perfect angle possible, so you don't see the entire mess that is the second half of the car. One of my favorite parts about this set, though, is the cockpit. As you can see, Cole just kind of fits right in there. The windscreen itself doesn't really open per se. You kind of got to take the whole thing off, which is kind of annoying, but there is something good to come out of this. We'll get to that here in a second. The windscreen I like. Nice orange, transparent, translucent, nice see-through orange color. Can't really go wrong with that. I just wish it would have, you know, opened in some way, but again, can't really expect too much from this set at the end of the day. But what I was really surprised and kind of impressed about, to be honest, is that the cockpit itself has room for 2 minifigures. Yeah, see if I can get that on footage there. There are 2 seats in there. The first seat, obviously enough, features Cole's spot and a nice little steering wheel in there for him to drive, and he just kind of sits in there, obviously. But there is enough room for another figure. This is a 2-seater car. Unfortunately, the set itself does not include a minifigure that can fit in there. I mean, sure, if you really wanted to, you could probably take the wings and the armor off of Golden Dragon Kai and plop him in there. Otherwise, who else is Cole supposed to drive around here? The Vengestone Brute? No? Esphira? Definitely not. So you get room for another figure, but you don't have a compatible figure in the set. I don't know what the deal is there. Maybe they could have included another ninja in this set. Maybe they could have included somebody else, maybe like a civilian or something. You know, just somebody else to fit in there alongside Cole. Thankfully, I came prepared. I have Princess Vanya right here, all good to go. We can just tuck her down in there, situate her in there perfectly, and bring in that windscreen again. It's kind of a pain sometimes to put back on there, but once you find the right angle, there you go. You can just line that up perfectly, and that is not a bad look. There you go. See, you can fit two figures in there. It's just kind of a shame that the set doesn't really include a compatible figure to put in there alongside Cole. Like I said, unless you want to remove some of the dragon armor off of Kai, or if he really wants to take the Vengestone Brute out for a little ride through the countryside. I don't know. I just like how this looks. I think that's an awesome inclusion. That's probably my favorite thing about this set, the fact that you can fit two minifigures in the cockpit. You don't see that very often with ninja vehicles and ninja cars, but I'm glad that they have it here. And it's not like a one in the front, one in the back type of thing either. This is like a legit car. And I can't really complain too much about that. Unfortunately, yeah, Vanya doesn't come in this set, and I don't want to confuse anybody. You do not get Princess Vanya in this set, as awesome as that would be. So I guess in terms of Cole being a lonely boy, he's just going to have to be for the sake of the rest of this review, because nobody else can really fit in there. So I like how that looks. I like that function. But, you know, it's just kind of useless when you don't include a figure that can fit. Overall, guys, I'm not a huge fan of this set, if you guys couldn't tell. I think this set had a really good idea going for it, a really good start, a really solid idea put in place. Unfortunately, in execution, things just really didn't work out. As unfortunate as that is to say, I'm just not a huge fan of this set. I think it looks good from some angles. I do want to modify this, obviously, to make it look perfect, in my opinion. Unfortunately, as it comes, as, you know, as an actual Lego set, it's anything but perfect. Actually pretty far from it. And really quick before we wrap up today's review, here we have the leftover or spare parts. Pretty solid selection right here as per usual. And here is the instruction manual. Nothing really special, again, as per usual. So guys, in terms of Cole's Dragon Cruiser, do I like this set? Honestly, not really. I mean, the set itself is pretty, I guess, interesting in the way that it's constructed, but as I've said earlier in the video, this is kind of like getting a bad haircut. It starts off looking really good, but then eventually something just goes wrong and the end result is just kind of meh, in my opinion. I will say the minifigure selection isn't too bad. You do get Golden Dragon Kai, nice version of Cole and Asphira, so if you're collecting the Crystal Council or the Dragon Ninja, this is obviously a must-buy set, but honestly, if you can save your money on this thing, I would recommend it. The piece count as well is a little bit low considering the price of $45, and even with that original price of $40, the set still feels unfinished. It feels like they could have added a lot more to this set to make it a little bit more fleshed out, make it look better, dare I say. If you're a younger Ninjago fan thinking about getting this set, I'd say go for it. It is a pretty solid play set, you know, a car that you can roll around with a decent attack function, some missile launching features. That's all fine and dandy, but as a collector, as an adult collector coming from my perspective, this set was just kind of a waste in my opinion. I'd recommend trying to find it at a sale price or maybe even just passing on it altogether. Probably my least favorite of the entire wave if I'm being wholeheartedly honest here. So with that being said, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts on Cole's Dragon Cruiser. Kind of a not so great set in my opinion, but of course it does have some good things in it. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below regarding this set specifically. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again in the next video. Peace.